Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching Channel, and please like, subscribe, comment. We've got over 300 and 315, 320 audios now on a variety of topics. Hopefully, something you will like. Would like to hit the 500 subscriber mark within the next month. You could help us with that. Share this wherever you find appropriate, and hopefully help some people in the process. Anyway, I'm going to talk really quickly, just a short audio today about the rescuer mentality. Are you a rescuer? Now, here are, about 5 signs that you are a rescuer to other people. These are mentalities that the rescuer most often, not always, but most often has. Self sacrifice to the point of hurting yourself. So, there is an altruism that comes with being a rescuer. It is the comfort of another person matters more than my comfort. And when we get to that place, often we learn that from our parents. Don't be rude, don't be obnoxious, always give. Or I have to give to be loved. These are all negative habits that we learn, usually in childhood or even in first romantic relationships, that cause us to be a rescuer. And so what happens is when we see someone who we believe is in more pain than ourselves, or when we see someone who's suffering, we think it's our duty to give to that person, even if it's detrimental to ourselves. So there is a point where sacrificing for a short span of time is important. If we have a friend or a family member or a loved one who is in a trauma situation, in a crisis situation, and they need help, certainly giving for, a couple of days, a couple of months at most, it can be helpful as long as it has an end date in sight. However, if you're in the habit of overgiving to the point of not taking care of yourself, you're actually hurting both yourself and the other person. You're hurting the other person because eventually, because they're now dependent on you for their support, emotional, mental, physical, financial, whatever, and you burn out, you can't support them anymore. But if you burn out, you also can't support anyone in your life, including yourself. So what happens is the act of the overgiver actually becomes detrimental to the ability to continue living, not only the ability to continue rescuing. And so that's a dangerous thing. So if you get to the point where you self-sacrifice to the point of hurting yourself, in other words, not taking care of yourself, sacrificing that you don't have the money to pay your bills, sacrificing that you don't have physical or mental or emotional safety, or any other ways of overgiving, it can be a problem. So another thought is there's always more that can be done. Now, the reality is in our world, there is always more that can be done. But do you have the authority, the ability, and the safety to be able to do so? Now, a person should do as much as they can, and I agree with this. I believe in giving of time, energy, effort, money, and whatever else is needed as often as one can, and making it a habit, making it a practice. I believe it as a core tenet of my core value system. However, there's always more to be done. There's 7 billion people on the planet. There has to be boundary with how much we give. And so when you need to be needed, when you need to be seen as a good person, when you need the credit for doing a nice deed, you really need to look at um, what you're really accomplishing and what your real goal is. I always encourage people to give anonymously when they can. Give of their time. Hey, I helped you out, but you didn't know it. Hey, this is done for you. You didn't know I was doing it. Hey, I'm going to give. I'm going to donate money. Or I'm going to go donate these things, but you don't need to know who I am, because when we do that, we can't foster dependency from the other person if they don't know where it came from. And secondly, we can give consistently when we have extra time, when we have extra energy, extra money, extra physical items, extra whatever it is that we're going to give, but we don't have to do it religiously in terms of every day, every month, every week, every whatever. And so there will always be more to do, but having the boundary of saying, I've given enough for now, I can re-give once I replenish is important. Another sign that you're a rescuer is you allow people to cross your boundaries. Now, boundaries are wonderful, and we sometimes need to reevaluate, is this a boundary I need to keep with this specific person or in this situation? However, if a person is crossing your boundaries repeatedly, continually, consistently, and you're not holding them accountable for doing so, you're actually doing them and yourself a disservice. You're doing them a disservice because they think they can run over you at every given moment. And you're doing yourself a disservice because sooner or later they're going to do something, or someone will do something that is so negative that it's hard for you to emotionally, mentally, or financially, physically recover. If you can't recover, then the people that are counting on you that haven't done anything wrong will negatively suffer. So keeping boundaries is about protecting yourself and others. The other thing is avoiding conflict. This is a huge thing for rescuers. So if a rescuer believes that having a conflict with another person, or disagreement, or difference of opinion, or any sort of variance in change of plans, change of intention, is going to cause the affected person a negative outcome or a negative experience, they will avoid the conflict of this. However, the conflict and the energy of the conflict has to go somewhere, and usually what happens is it's internalized. I'll deal with this time, but never again. And then next time comes, I'll deal with it this time, but never again. And then the next time comes, man, I can't do this anymore, but no one else will do it. And then before you know it, you've got burnout and you resent helping people. And then the rescuer becomes what I call the jaded rescuer, where it has become such your identity that to stop, like, what would I do with my time if I wasn't helping people? But at the same time, I don't like helping people anymore. So it's like this jaded feeling where no matter what you do, it feels wrong. And that's not healthy either. The last one is it becomes a habit. So something we do for 3 consecutive weeks, according to some theories in science, other people it's 90 days, but for an extended period of time, somewhere between 3 weeks and 3 months, becomes a habit. And so if you're in the habit of rescuing others, if you're in the habit of overgiving, you literally do have to retrain your brain, your neuron system, your brain neurons. You have to retrain your thought process. You have to retrain your body. If you go into neighborhoods that aren't good for you, or places that aren't good for you, you have to retrain yourself away from being the rescuer and the overgiver. And that can take time, and that can take, working with a coach, working with a counselor, working with a pastor, working with an outside party to show you your patterns, because a lot of this does become pattern for people, especially in families where overgiving and rescuing is a habit. Sometimes it's multi-generational. So hopefully this is helpful, and I hope that everything here has been helpful. If there is a topic we can cover for you, please feel free to comment below, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and hope that you are keeping your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.